What if Apple made a handheld game console? This question kept bouncing around in my head until last year when I took apart the new Mac Mini. It suddenly hit me. Such a tiny motherboard, yet so powerful. Wasn't this made for handheld modding? I designed based on my Apple-style understanding. I turned the Mac Mini into an Apple-style game handheld that might disrupt tradition. What is Apple's design language to me? If there's a shape that represents Apple, it's the circle. You notice, from the outside, look too much of the software UI. The circle is everywhere in Apple's work, even their headquarters is a circle. So I wanted to bring the circle into the handheld's design. The screen's rectangular, can't change that, but the controller has room to play with. First, I drew a few circles. The outer circle became a big rounded corner. The shell shape appeared. The two middle circles became button area: up, down, left, right. Or a BXY, the small circle inside became the joystick zone. Yep, this time I'm breaking convention, changing how we picture controllers. I fused the buttons and joystick together, not just for looks, but I found there's real value. With regular game controllers, your thumb usually has to reach far to hit the buttons and joystick. If you're gaming where you switch back and forth between stick and buttons after a long session, your thumb easily gets tired and your muscles start hurting. But with my design, the thumb's movement is reduced, so when you keep switching between stick and buttons, it all happens in a smaller space and maybe it helps delay muscle fatigue. The joystick is set lower, so there's plenty of room to use it. Based on my hand shape, I place the joystick where my thumb feels comfortable. Operate the joystick at a 60-degree upward angle, so my thumb barely touches the outer ring of buttons. It ended up looking a lot like a TV remote, but hey, at least it's an Apple remote. I chose a 10.5-inch 1080p LCD screen from Microsoft Surface. This screen has great display, wide viewing angle, perfect for gaming, plus it's fully laminated. Supports Mac gestures, highly compatible with Mac Mini motherboard. I made a video before discussing flat processing with everyone. When I posted that video, negative feedback. I really don't get why everyone focused on this temporary shell I changed. Hardly anyone discussed reducing thickness with me, compared to prior changes. This time, I spent a lot to replace the processor's heatsink and fins with copper ones. Better cooling with Nidec fan, motherboard approximately 20mm thick. 35,000 mAh power batteries module, 5,000 times 3 testing board. Display driver, fast charge, module source, battery health, light soon. Battery module from an anonymous expert designed for Mac Mini. Supports high power fast charging and shows battery level in menu bar. The main frame and back cover still use 3D printing for shaping and cost control. 3D printing has clear advantages. What makes Apple products popular besides design? Their precise material combination, one of Apple's core strengths. To match Apple style better, focus on front beautification. Make device thin, decorative materials only 1 to 2 millimeters thick. This raises the requirements for processing precision and technique, making multi-material fine work a real necessity. So this time, we brought in Xtool's soon-to-be-released new tool, the F2 Ultra UV Laser Engraver. Leading Chinese desktop laser engraving brand with few competitors, the new product uses UV lasers with shorter wavelengths and higher single-photon energy. What's the advantage? Compared to previous blue red light products, it engraves more challenging materials like perfume bottle, candle jar. Works with glass, transparent plastics, 3D printing materials, and ceramics. Cold processing means cutting, engraving glass and other materials leaves no burn marks, looking cleaner. Let's see what happens when the F2 Ultra UV meets these materials. First, we're cutting this black acrylic sheet into the shape of the handle front. Blends better with the black screen panel. Next, engrave patterns around buttons. Cut out under buttons highlights difference from black acrylic. Let's cut glass. The F2 Ultra UV can cut transparent glass. Because the laser deepens the cut repeatedly, the edge ends up polished. You can use it right after cutting. F2 Ultra UV supports glass engraving, so we engraved a 0.7 mm thick Apple logo inside this 1.5 mm glass. Then used anodized aluminum for some decorative patterns. F2 Ultra UV's precision is 0.001 millimeters. So this pattern is actually a ring of tiny English words, each only about 1 millimeter tall. With a glass engraved Apple logo, it adds dimension and detail. Now it really feels like Apple. The other side's glass has my logo engraved like a collab with Apple. Apple has no idea about this, but once everything was finished, this is the result. At least for me, making everything by hand and getting this outcome is something I'm really happy with. None of this would be possible without high-precision tools like F2 Ultra UV. The buttons use CNC with anodized finish. Shoulder buttons, clear acrylic. The design was inspired by PSP, and the back is based on Nintendo's Wii U pad, while the front's in Apple's minimalist style. Start and menu buttons move to grips, power switch at back lower right, but the back still feels a bit empty. Maybe this would make it better. This reminds me of the glowing Apple logos on their old laptops, and since we've got F2 Ultra UV, we have to make one too. The soles here and all the Mac Mini's rear ports are externally accessible, taking up one Type-C port. Connects the display a bit bigger than a regular handheld. 10.5-inch screen pops visually, decent pixel density. Weighs approximately 1 to 6 OG fully charged, 4 hours standby, light work. AAA games give approximately 1 hour battery life. Luckily, 5.4W fast charging and 10,000 mAh power bank adds an extra hour. I feel like there are more and more games you can play on Macs now. Expedition 33 and Death Stranding run smoothly on base Mac Mini. With Windows translation and emulators, this device works as a handheld console. Possibilities are higher. I spent so much on this. Like and follow, help me recharge. Suggestions for this handheld, let me know in comments. After so many years of DIY, I'm amazed at how friendly this era is to hobbyists. Materials and processing precision improving, industrial gear we once couldn't dream of. Now easily bring home, have an idea, turn it into reality and even make products to sell at home. Small batch production at low cost. With hardcore tools like the X-Tool F2 Ultra UV. Creating your own home production line is really no longer just a dream. Alright, that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching.